Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. So this is a 58 Impala that we've had in here a couple times before just for some small repairs, updates. But the customer's complaining about how it's been running hot on him a lot. It's a 502 big block. And so we ordered a custom CNR racing radiator. And what we're currently working on, as you can see here, this is the original core support with the vintage air AC condenser. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to make all new core support to allow for the new radiator, because we're going to a big cross flow radiator and electric fans. So we're going to have to relocate a few things on the car that they had attached to the existing core support. So what Kenny's going to start with is he's stripping it down to get in here to start taking his measurements. But we'll make a bolt-in core support just like the stock one was, but it's going to accommodate the new CNR radiator. So yeah, so that's where we are at the moment. And then the car's also got some floor pan issues. So once we get this done, this is first on our list. We'll have it up on the lift, and it's got a few areas that we may want to address if they're within the customer's budget. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. We're also back on the 56. Customer needed us just to kind of hold off for a little bit, but we've been working on the Torino. So Brandon is working on mounting the tank for the Supercharger intercooler and the tank for the power steering filler, and we've come in and re-notched this. We have this cover with an access hole in it for the radiator, so now we can also reach down in here and get to the power steering cap. So that's what we're on to right at the moment. We'll get all this finished up. We also have made the new inner structure for the hood, taking out a lot of the twist and flexibility in it. So we made all that. So we'll be back on this one with some updates as we're going and stuff. Today we're back on the 58 Chevy, the 58 Impala. So what Kenny's doing, the car's running hot. It's 502 big block ramjet. They have a tendency to run hot. Not enough radiator, factory. So customer saw one of the aluminum core supports and radiator assemblies that we had on another car, so we're actually building one for this car. So Kenny's got the stock stuff out, and we'll take a look here in a second, but what we're going to do is we're going to make the new aluminum core support radiator assembly, mount back in stock location, and then we'll make some hoses and stuff because it's now a cross flow radiator. So that's kind of where we are on this, and then some other things are going to get moved around on this just because of the new assembly. We'll take a quick look. So here we are with the new radiator core support assembly. Is this kind of mounted, Kenny, where I can stand it up?
It can, but it's not mounted at the top.
Yeah, right, okay. So you can see the core support here, making it bolt in stock location. It'll have a room for a little bit of shim. It's going to go back. And those will be the mounts for it, stuff like that. We're still building on this right here. And then of course this is a CNR racing radiator out of back off of the East Coast. Ultimate quality radiators. They're not cheap, but they're ultimate quality. And we've gone with the brushless fans on this assembly here too. So you can see how thick that assembly is going to be. And we don't run the trans coolers through the radiators here in our area just because we have so much traffic and whatnot. In the heat, transmissions will run 180, 200 plus degrees, and we're just trying to keep the car as cool as we can. So we keep that heat out of the radiator along with it and run a remote cooler. So that's kind of what we do on that. So he's doing a really good job on this. And then this is all going to get sent out for polishing as soon as he's finished fabricating it. But you can see here, let me lay this back down. So the bottom of the radiator actually has a stud made on it, and we'll put a rubber biscuit in there, and that allows it to float, and then we'll just have some mounts on the top. And this is where it mounted from factory on the frame, with some biscuits under that. So that's a nice piece. So that's kind of where we are on the 58 at the middle of the week at the moment. And then the customer's got a few other little things we're going to address on it while it's here. And then our Fireboard project back here in the back is coming along pretty good. So we're here on, oh, you're all right. You can keep, you don't want to be on it? So he's got somebody out looking for him, so he don't want them to know where he's at. No. So here on the Fireboard project, we've gotten a lot of progress since we last took a look. He's got all the AC back up under the dash. Is that correct? The AC's all up under the dash? So the new steering column's in it. You can take a look at that. It's got the Dakota Digital gauges all in it. We put new wiper assembly stuff on it, mechanisms. We got these from Firewheel Classics over in Murphy, Texas. And then it's got the Pontiac True Track assembly. And we kept the mechanical fan and shroud. So he's got a little wiring still to do. He's been making some new battery cables. Now we run, because these are at least 150 amp alternators. So we run a 4-gauge wire from the battery and down to the starter and all that. So 2-gauge to the starter, 4-gauge to the battery for charging, and then the alternator itself needs to be grounded. So we have all that, and we find that so many of our electrical issues on these cars are they're just not grounded good enough. People put grounds on them, but they just don't put enough ground on them. So we got all that done. So this one's, maybe by the end of the week, we'll be done with this one and start test driving it, if not sooner. So we finally got the core support back from the polisher. Got it mocked up, AC condenser. We made the cover, got it back. Made our AC lines here, made those ourselves, come through the core support. Just a little quick update on what we're doing here. We have the CNR racing radiator crossflow that goes in here. This is the 58 Impala, and a 502 big block customer is having some heating issues with the current situation that was in it. And so we've been measuring, Kenny's been measuring today. we're going to end up, because we're not going to run the trans cooler through the radiator. So we're going to put a cooler down here horizontal, a remote cooler, and direct some airflow through that. So he was currently measuring and getting some dimensional measurements. And then we're going to be changing out the alternator. We're waiting on a polished 200 amp alternator to come in. So that's the current status of the 58 Impala. So this one's coming along pretty good. When you're waiting on other people, it kind of delays the progress some days. But the core support turned out pretty nice. Radiator will have a little cover that'll cover that for the upper mount. So that's where we are currently on the 58. So you can see we got the core support back from the polishers, how it all fit together. We got the radiator installed, core supports installed, AC condenser. We made us some custom lines here. Got those made, number 8 and number 6, to go through the, actually we were going through the core support. This fan and radiator assembly has dual brushless fans. So we're going to finish up with the heavy duty wiring, get that all dialed in. We've got the upper stainless steel hose made and a lower stainless steel hose made to go along with that, so we don't have to fight with hunting just the right radiator hose. So we got all that done. We're getting real close to being able to fire this thing up and start doing some road tests. So that's where we are on the 58 Impala. I want to thank y'all for staying with us throughout the season, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel and also hit that like button. Thank you.